All right, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. I want to thank you all for joining us for this live conversation about the latest court ruling on the DACA program. Esta conversación se llevará a cabo en español siguiendo la presentación en inglés. I'm Erica with Alliance San Diego, a community empowerment organization working to ensure that all people can achieve their full potential. Before we begin, I have a few announcements. Our session is in the webinar format today, which means you will only see and hear our participant, Hector. Today's session is being recorded. If you receive an alert that says we are recording, please accept it to continue with us today. Se está grabando la sesión de hoy. Si recibe una alerta que dice que estamos grabando, acéptela para continuar con nosotros hoy. When our moderator indicates that we are in question and answer time, you can submit a question in English or Spanish via the chat function, which should be located towards the bottom middle of your Zoom window. You can submit questions in other languages by email to immigration@alliancesd.org. That's immigration, IMMIGRATION @ALLIANCESD.org. Please note that our session today will be supported in English and Spanish only. Any questions in other languages will be answered by email by our human rights team. If you do not see either the button to view the chat window or Zoom controls, please try scrolling your cursor along the bottom of your screen. This should activate the buttons. If you have any technical questions during our session today, please reach out directly to me, Erica, via the chat function or email me at erica@alliancesd.org. The recording from our session will be made available on our website and our Facebook page. We will also include links to view and share this session in our thank you email, which will also include a short post-session survey. Any information discussed or collected this evening on our post-session survey will strictly be used by our team to improve and adjust the virtual meeting experience. Thank you once again for attending. And now I'll turn it over to my colleague and our moderator, Hector Oviedo, Human Rights Manager at Alliance San Diego.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you, Erica, for the introduction. As Erica said, my name is Hector Oviedo. I'm the Human Rights Manager at Alliance San Diego. And I'm going to share my screen real quick to share the presentation with you all. Awesome. Well, thank you again for being here with us on such a short notice on this Tuesday evening to talk about the court decision last Friday regarding DACA. And today's webinar is going to be a short presentation of the facts and the situations regarding DACA. And I will be giving this presentation first in English, and then I will be giving it in Spanish, okay? So first I want to comment who is Alliance San Diego, who we are today helping you. We're a community empowerment organization that builds coalitions to promote justice and social change. Our mission at Alliance San Diego is to build collective power to create an inclusive democracy. And our vision for that is an inclusive democracy where all people can achieve their full potential in an environment of harmony, safety, equality, and justice. The core values here at Alliance San Diego are inclusion, compassion, justice, collaboration, and integrity. Now, I want to comment on our team, the human rights team that deals with immigration issues. Our department is composed of 3 members. I, myself, Hector Oviedo, I am the Human Rights Manager, and I'm a Department of Justice fully accredited representative. Not here today are Michelle Saletti, who is our Human Rights Counsel and an immigration attorney, and Asma Abdi, an upcoming Department of Justice accredited representative, and our human rights organizer. In the Human Rights Department, we have two main focuses on how we serve the immigrant community. One is to provide direct legal services. We do immigration consultations, and we help representing individuals with cases from naturalization, DACA, green card renewals, TPS, adjustments of status for refugees and asylees, and more. We also do education and outreach, which is what we're doing today, which is monthly webinars and Know Your Rights presentations and more. So that's a little bit about our team today. And of course, Erika from the communications team, who is also great. So today's topic, what can you expect from this presentation? We're going to talk about what happened on Friday, July 16th in the Texas v. USA ruling. We're going to talk about what that means for the state of DACA today, how it affects people that currently have DACA or that want to renew, or people that were in the process of applying for DACA for the first time or are planning to do it or working to do it. We're also going to talk on what's next for DACA and for Dreamers. And at the end, we're going to have a short section on how to avoid fraud during these difficult times and how to report abuse at the hands of the Department of Homeland Security. So let's talk first on what happened on Friday on Texas v. USA. On July 16, 2021, a federal district court in Texas issued a ruling in Texas v. US, limiting the DACA program and declaring it unlawful. More detailed information will be offered in the coming days, but for now, it's important to understand how Friday's rulings impact the DACA community. So the ruling was that the program was unlawful. This was determined by U.S. District Judge Andrew Hannon from Texas. He determined that DACA is unlawful, and he vacated the June 15, 2012 memorandum that created DACA, that was created by the Obama administration 9 years ago, almost to the date. And so what this means is that the state of DACA is very unstable right now. So I think it's really important for us to explain exactly what, depending on what state you're on, or somebody you know is on their DACA situation, that we properly do an explanation of what the situation is post this July 16 ruling. So first I want to focus on current DACA recipients. These are people that already have DACA. So what does this decision mean for them? Fortunately, current DACA cases remain valid. Anyone who currently has DACA gets to keep their protection from deportation via deferred action and gets to keep their work authorization and advanced parole if that's what you have. Nothing really has changed with the already approved DACA cases. This includes renewal, which is a good thing as well. So people who have DACA right now or who have had DACA in the past are still eligible to renew their case. So pending renewal applications will be processed normally. So if, for example, you had a renewal coming up in 4 months and you're asking yourself, what should I do? Well, DACA renewals are still being processed normally. So please do apply for that renewal. Now, for the recently approved DACA recipients, as we all know, or as some of us know, in December of 2020, initial applications were accepted once again with a previous ruling. And so people that applied from December till July, some people got their DACA approved and they became DACA recipients, thankfully. So for these individuals, if they were recently granted DACA for the first time, their DACA also remains valid. And all you need to do is plan accordingly to renew your DACA in the future. And in the meantime, stay informed about changes and updates to the DACA program. So thankfully, the DACA status for these individuals is also untouched. Now, for pending initial DACA cases, meaning that you already submitted your application to USCIS, Maybe you already got a receipt notice, maybe you already did your fingerprints, or maybe you haven't, but you recently submitted it a week ago or something. For first-time DACA applications, they are all on hold right now. No new DACA applications are going to be approved at this time by USCIS. This court decision has blocked USCIS from approving any new DACA cases. So unfortunately, all those cases are on hold right now. This means that all people who have submitted a DACA initial application and have not yet received the DACA status from USCIS will have their application held. And this applies to all initial cases that were not approved prior to July 16, 2021. So that's what we know right now about people who have pending initial DACA applications. Now, for people that were in the process of applying for DACA, obviously applying for DACA is difficult to a lot of individuals because it's over 14 years of physical presence evidence. It is not something that you get from one day to another. So for all those people that were compiling their case, what happens now? The judge's decision prohibits USCIS from approving any first-time DACA applications at this time. However, USCIS can accept initial DACA applications, but they will not issue any decisions on first-time applications. What does this mean? It sounds a little confusing. So USCIS will be accepting new applications, meaning they will receive them. They're not gonna immediately deny them. They're not gonna mail them back to you. They are accepting the new DACA applications, but because of the court order, they can't process them. They're all on hold. So right now, it is unclear whether there is any benefit to applying for DACA for the first time now and having that application pending with USCIS. We need to stay tuned for more guidance on that. Obviously, this is something that happened just last Friday. So even USCIS is unclear on how they're processing a lot of these cases. So what's next for DACA and Dreamers? We're going to talk a little bit about that. So for initial DACA applicants, we will likely hear more about the DACA program in the future. People will continue to fight to protect DACA, and the legal case will continue in the courts. The Biden administration may make additional announcements about the program soon or in the future, but it's important to stay informed and to speak with a trusted legal service provider about your specific case. And this is very important because every case is unique and no two cases are the same. So it's always important to have a trusted organization or immigration attorney that can be guiding you throughout this process. Now, President Biden has issued a response. Biden said in a statement that the Justice Department will appeal Judge Hannon's ruling. The Democratic president also said that DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees immigration issues, will soon issue a new regulation intended to strengthen DACA's legal standing. Now, Biden also called for Congress to take action and to protect Dreamers, asking for Congress to pass the American Dream and Promise Act. So obviously, President Biden was not happy with the decision by the Texas judge, Hannon. He issued a whole statement from the White House, which I'm going to read word by word to you guys. But obviously, he shares what we in Alliance think, that this is deeply disappointing. And he is calling Congress to take action to pass something more permanent, not just for Dreamers, but for all the undocumented community in the United States. Now, there are options in legislation currently that could possibly affect Dreamers and DACA holders. There is talks about a path to citizenship through reconciliation. Now, we've known since the beginning that DACA is not enough. Judge Hannon's ruling is a reminder that our community needs permanent protections. Right now, Senate Democrats have introduced a budget resolution that included a path to citizenship for millions of undocumented people. Now, the Democrats in Congress must ensure a pathway to citizenship that stays in the reconciliation package before this August, before Congress goes into recess. So there's a lot of legislation in the works that could include language for Dreamers and for DACA recipients. So what can you do next? Obviously, it's very important to contact your representative. It's really easy to find your representative at house.gov, and you can find who your local representative is. And you have to let them know that you want them to protect DACA, that you want them to protect Dreamers, that you support an immigration reform. And it's important to stay involved and raise your voice. DACA recipients and their allies must demand that the Biden administration protect DACA, and Congress finally provides a permanent and inclusive solution for all undocumented immigrants. Now, I know that that's a lot of information. I do want to add two other important topics today. Avoiding fraud and reporting abuse by the Department of Homeland Security. Avoiding fraud is so important because right now our community is very vulnerable and it's very easy to fall under immigration fraud committed by a lot of actors, including notarios. So it's always very important to get information before working with someone in your immigration case for DACA, for a family petition, for any type of immigration representation. It's really easy to check the credentials of the person that's assisting you. If they are an immigration attorney, you can easily go to calbar.ca.gov and you can look up that attorney. Or if you're being held by a Department of Justice accredited representative like myself, you can easily look up my information and Alliance San Diego's information at justice.gov/BOIR. That's like the first thing you need to do to make sure that the person that's helping you is doing it legally and that they're accredited by the government. It's also a good idea to check for past disciplinary actions and identify areas of expertise of that attorney or representative. You obviously don't want to go to an organization that specializes in something like citizenship and talk to them about representing you for an asylum application, for example. And it's very obvious, but it needs to be stated. To avoid fraud, you need to make sure you get a written contract from the person helping you, and you need to make sure that you get a copy of everything, including the contract and all the filing that that person will do for you. Another subject I wanted to bring up of equal importance is reporting abuse at the border. We currently have a hotline open. The phone number is there at the bottom, 619-629-0360. If you or anyone you know has been a victim of abuse at the border, either at the hands of U.S. Customs or Border Patrol, and you want to speak out and tell us about that abuse you endured, we would really appreciate that. We are helping a person who was sexually abused by immigration at the border over a year ago. And if you also have been the victim of such abuse at the hands of Department of Homeland Security officials, we would like for you to speak up. So that's our phone line if you want to call us for that matter. Now, all being said, how can Alliance San Diego help you? We offer free immigration consultations to everyone. We will never, we haven't been charging since the pandemic began, and we don't plan to charge in the near future. So it's completely free, the consultation, and more so, if you're eligible for our services here at Alliance San Diego, we will also provide free legal representation on your application. And that's not just DACA, that's also citizenship, and any other service that we provide will always be free until further notice. And if you're interested in scheduling an appointment, you can call us as the number you see there. Okay, now if you have any questions, I'll hand it over to Erika so she can let us know if there's any questions that I can answer. And then I will begin the Spanish presentation.
Thanks, Hector. Yes, we did have a question from Ricardo who asks, for people that are eligible for DACA, should they still send in an application?
Thank you for the question, Ricardo. Like I mentioned, USCIS said that they will be accepting initial applications, but there is no clear indication into how that application is being processed. So we don't know if there's actually any benefit in submitting them as of now. Immigration, USCIS will have updates to give us on whether we should be submitting initial applications right now. But until we have new information, my answer is that we're not sure right now. We obviously don't want people to submit applications with $495 and then having that application be denied and the money being lost. So we really want to wait for USCIS to give us clear instructions on what they're going to do with those new initial applications that come to their offices.
And we have a question from Anna. Could you please explain what to expect in regards to the reconciliation bill?
Well, am I muted or not? No, I'm not. That is an interesting question. Obviously, as we all know, politics and Congress is kind of a mess right now, and passing legislation it has proven to be difficult. We do know that our Democratic leaders are fighting to include benefits for the undocumented community in that budget reconciliation bill. So what we can expect is for our Democrat leaders to hopefully do what we put them in that podium to do, which is fight for the rights of immigrants that have had a big say into them being in that office. So, what I hope is that what we can expect is for our leaders to really fight to make sure that this population is included in that bill.
Thank you, Hector. And Norma also has a question. Will Alliance San Diego continue the Know Your Rights presentations?
Yes, Alliance San Diego will continue Know Your Rights presentations. We currently offer monthly presentations on different topics every month. Just last week, we had one about our new service of refugee and asylee adjustment of status. And a Know Your Rights presentation is in the works as well. However, if you, for example, are part of a community or another organization and you wanted to request a presentation to your community, please do so. You can email us at immigration@alliancesd.org and ask us to present to your community, and we will gladly do so.
Jimena has a question. She says, I have started my process, but I want to know if I can still keep going and send it. When is it safe to do so?
So you can continue, I think, gathering information, because as we know, the evidence for DACA can be very, very, very difficult to obtain, especially if you're on the older spectrum of DACA recipients, if you're not just relying on your, K through 12 school records. So I would continue gathering all that evidence. Now, when you could actually submit it, like I mentioned before, with the first question, Alliance San Diego is going to wait until USCIS gives instructions, or at least gives us a clear understanding of what's going to be done with those initial applications. We obviously want to file them, but we also don't want to have people just throw away their money if for whatever reason they might be denying them. So we're gonna, that's something that once you go to a consultation with your legal service provider, they will strategize with you when is the best time to apply.
And then Leone, I hope I'm saying that right. Leone works with undocumented Dreamer students at a community college. Do you have student-friendly info sheets about the latest DACA ruling so we can share with our students?
Yes, we definitely do have a lot of information that we can relay to you. Please email me at or email us at Immigration Alliance SD, and we can forward that information to you gladly. We could also go to your students and do a presentation there. So just contact us and we'll gladly help out in any way we can.
We have another question. Who can we contact for an assessment on a case or immigration services?
You can contact us. We are a Department of Justice accredited agency to provide immigration services. So you can definitely schedule a consultation with us. We're not the only one organization doing this in San Diego. Luckily, we have a lot of organizations here that do amazing work. Our policy is that if we personally can't help you with the case because of X, Y, or Z reason, we do refer you out to all of our trusted organizations in San Diego.
Pedro has a question about his specific case. He says he applied in March and has been waiting. So will he be receiving any news, no news, or anything about his case? He said he received a letter from them 1 month ago saying to make an online account at USCIS. So what will happen to my case?
Okay, I can't really contact on specifically what will happen on your case, obviously, without seeing it personally. But what I can say is that all initial applications that are pending are currently on hold. And I know that a lot of our clients in ASD have already gotten text notifications from USCIS saying that any biometric appointment for initial DACA applicants have been canceled until further notice. So essentially, I'm sorry to say that the case is currently frozen. It's on hold and no action is currently being taken right now until all of this is settled.
And then we have another question. Is a press conference by Alliance San Diego or other like-minded organizations being planned at the moment?
This I think I can refer to Erika. If you can answer this, she's from our communications department, so she'd probably be better equipped to answer this.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for your question, Norma. We don't have any press conference scheduled at this moment. What we're focusing right now is bringing awareness to, all the DACA recipients and all people eligible for DACA. So, but we will, if we do have a press conference, you will know about it if you are signed up for our emails. If you signed up for this specific webinar, you will receive an email if we do have a press conference and you want to support with action. So just keep an eye out for your email. And you can also follow Alliance San Diego on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search Alliance San Diego and we'll keep our communities posted on any upcoming actual actions that you can take part of. And I believe that's most of our questions. I am going to share the email that you can reach out to if you have any additional questions as you're thinking about this webinar. If you are looking for fact sheets, please email us, or if you need a consultation, again, please email us. You can also contact the phone number that's on the screen right now. And I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up our English portion. Thank you for participating in our discussion. We hope that you found the conversation helpful. As a reminder, the recording from our session will be made available on our website and on our Facebook page. We will also include links to view and share the session, and we will share all the links to all the important information Hector talked about. And that email will also include a post-session survey. Again, any information discussed or collected will only be used by our team to improve and adjust the virtual meeting experience. You will receive the survey and that email in the coming days. Thank you and good evening.